Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and fellows. How are you? I welcome you on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. My dear friends, look, and motivation. There is a lot of talk about the motivation, and that is great indeed. This is the time of the age of the trainers, motivational speakers, those who are providing us with the counseling, with the advice, with the motivation, with the training, with the coaching. That is all nice. It is not bad at all. Although whatever they are telling, most of that, or maybe quite a lot of that, is quite practical and and is quite doable as well. So, dear friends and fellows, but one thing that is, as far the external motivation is concerned, external motivation is only limited for some of the time. It's not forever at all, but there is another thing that is called internal motivation. And what is this internal motivation, dear friends and fellows? Because as for the external motivation, what somebody is providing to us, it is very good indeed, but it has its own limitations. It does not stick to us for a longer period of time. It is we stay motivated for some of the time, and for that reason, I think on the one hand we need to take this external motivation. On the other hand, we need to generate the internal motivation, because as for this intrinsic motivation is concerned, it is far much longer lasting, far much reliable, far much trustable. So for all of this reason, I always talk about the intrinsic motivation. Today we have made it a topic of our today's discussion. After a very careful consideration, after quite a lot of research, 11 items, 11 points have been chosen, which are needed here, which should be taken, which should be adopted, which should be practiced, and should be availed, so that we stay internally motivated, so that we could generate the intrinsic motivation, which is long lasting, which is beneficial forever, for a longer period of time. So once because this is the topic of our today's discussion, 11 tips for self improvement, how to motivate yourself, achieve your goals with these science backed motivation enhancers. Achieve your goals with these science backed motivation enhancers. It is so great indeed. What are those 11 science backed motivation and answers? Let's look upon all these. First of all, it is put your goal on the calendar. Write your goal here and there. Write your goal. Writing your goal and clearly defining your goal. Clearly defining your goal on the one hand, and then, of course, setting a reasonable deadline. Clearly defined with a reasonable deadline, and then writing it on your calendar, writing it here and there, and writing it wherever you can, wherever is the best place, writing it even on your mind and heart. Write it and rewrite it, write it many times in a single day. So it matters a lot. It does enter our subconscious mind through our conscious mind, and once it does, it becomes automatic. We start working upon it while being on autopilot. So the second thing is that is make working toward your goal a habit. Make working toward your goal a habit. Make it a routine. Whatever type of development somebody want to do, I think it should be taken and adopted as a habit, because it works a lot. It is much better indeed. So my dear friends and fellows, like if at all somebody want to sit in an examination, so they should start reading up at say 1 hour in the morning, at set a particular hour that during this and this time I shall be reading it. And during this and this time I shall be listening a lecture on the subject from the YouTube or whatever I can. So this is This is like, this is for example only. So that is, the second is make working toward your goal a habit. The third thing is plan for imperfection. Never try to be a perfect person, never try to be even an excellent person. Always try to bring a little bit of the improvement, and this little bit of the improvement, this will take us toward the excellence, and this will really make us a great person. That is much much needed here. Do not try to skip it at all. Plan for imperfection. The fourth is set goals to build momentum. Yes, set small goals. Setting of the small goals to build momentum. Building of the momentum. Building of the momentum of achievement. That is something absolutely great and stunning. How can we do that? We can do it by setting small goals, and these small goals and then achievement of these small goals will build a momentum which will be of great help for reaching our destination, for achieving our long term goals, for achieving the big target. Now the fifth is track your progress. Keep an eye on your progress. Reflect and look back upon your progress, because keep an eye on your progress, reflect back on your progress. That is so much. Track your progress. Now the sixth is reward yourself for the uh, little wins as well as the bigger one. Rewarding ourselves is very important, very important, very important. We might not be able to understand the importance of it. We might not be able to understand how it does work, but it work a lot, because our effort become more, energetic, more like the wholehearted effort, more like we are working with our spirit, more like, we are working our heart out, once we have added, once we have attached with it any sort of reward. And not only the bigger item should be rewarded, even the smaller wins, the smaller victories needs to be rewarded as well. The smaller victories with the smaller reward, the bigger victory with the bigger reward, what